It's reasonable to assume that there's one street cat for every 6 residents in the Boston area. And there are 10,000 street cats in Dorchester and Roxbury alone. They are cats being abandoned or the descendants of the abandons. And 66% of them are eventually euthanized. In response to this, a network of volunteers, veterinarians, fosters, adopters, and rescue organizations are saving as many of these animals as possible by finding them permanent homes.
The Animal Rescue League of Boston is what they say, a rescue league. They have a rescue department that will go and get wildlife that is injured or stranded. We will do everything we can to find them a good and loving home.
My name is Diana, and I am a volunteer here with Broken Tail Animal Rescue. It's mostly the stray cats from the Cambridge area and farther north as well. And then surrendered cats can come from anywhere.
Hi. She's generally easy to work with, right? I don't remember her being bad last week.
Yes.
Oh, hi. What did we just say about you being easy? Oh my goodness. Stop. Come here. Yeah. You're okay. I know, I'll let you go back in just a minute. Yeah. Good girl. Not your idea of fun. Oh, stop.
That's where all these scars are from. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then there's 5 here that you can't really see. It definitely happens, and cat bites can be really bad, so they tend to get infected, so you tend to need to go on antibiotics, and if you don't, then they can get really badly infected. I know many people who have ended up in the hospital over cat bites. So you have to be really careful because there are potentially really bad circumstances.
Okay, get your back. There you go. Good girl. I know, was that terrible?
I'm here pretty much every Monday, so part of that is that the cats that are here more than a week have to be examined every week. So I come every Monday so that I can make sure that all the cats get seen every week. More for me, it's medical. I'll make recommendations to Broken Tail and say, I don't think this cat's ready for adoption. And the certificates that I'm signing say that the cats are free of infectious and contagious diseases and they're healthy and safe for adoption. And I've gotten better over the years at figuring out which cats you can handle which ways. So she's being a really good example. So cats that, when cats are happy, they do this because it looks like you're kneading bread dough. And it's what kittens do to their moms to get them to let milk down. So it's basically a leftover happy thing. So that's giving me every sign that she's a very relaxed cat. She has her ears up and she's kind of showing me her belly. And then I can get my hand underneath their belly and pick them up. Hi. If you look at her ear, has the top of it taken off there. So that's called an ear tip. And the sort of standard way of telling people that a cat's been spayed is you cut the tip off its left ear.
My name is Lana. Me and my husband, we have been volunteer here for at least 2 years. We never look back. It's really, really good for us, and I hope good for the animals.
I'm Heather Fontaine Doyle, and I've been volunteering with Broken Tail for about 3 years. I chose it because my daughter wanted to volunteer, and at the time she was too young to volunteer. Broken Tail Rescue allowed her to volunteer as a junior volunteer as long as I would be here with her.
Basically all my life I've really loved cats, and I've always wanted to help cats.
So she is missing right now her flea prevention and then her parasite treatment, which they're going to give to her right now, which is a human drug, so they flavor it like bananas. So the cats love it.
Oh boy, banana.
Our job is to socialize the cats, which is to play with them and work on their behavior and get them used to people so that the more shy cats can come out of their shell and be adopted into homes.
My daily job is mostly introduce potential adopters to the cats, teach them about the cats, And then once a person is ready to adopt a cat, I will help to do the adoption and send the cat home.
What's their last name?
We don't usually give our cats last names. It's up to the adopters.
Cats don't like to be picked up. Some cats have very different personality. They're not just all cuddly and all that, and you just like them the way they are.
We do not euthanize or put to sleep any of our cats.
Cats who are older, cats who are overweight, cats who have a medical issue, cats who don't have a really lovely disposition can take a long time to get adopted.
If a cat is here for a very long time and isn't getting adopted, usually one of the Broken Tail Rescue volunteers will take the cat into their home so that they can make space for a different cat here, but then they are still available to be adopted and they're still listed on the website. We call that fostering.
Just told me to drop everything off here.
Yeah, I'm a failed foster parent.
Yeah, I had my dear cat named Fitzalina. I had her for 16 years. Yeah, she was great, and she passed away on Easter in April. And it was hard because I was quite attached. So I didn't think I was ready for more, to take another cat into my home. I didn't think emotionally I wanted to get involved again. I thought fostering would be easier. But look what happened. I fell in love with them, and so there you go. So now they're going to live with me forever.
I foster everything from neonatal kittens to adult behavior cats. There's a cat sitting on the sofa that's next to you right now that was her owner died. Her name is Bebe, and she's a tortoiseshell, and her owner had died, and she was just miserable in the shelter. She was hissing and swatting, and it was difficult. You couldn't handle her. So I brought her home, and as you can see now, she's not hissing and swatting. She still has a little bit of sass, but you can pet her, you can pick her up. And I just give them time. I let them settle in and realize that I'm not going to hurt them. I coax them, I offer them food. I hold my hand out. I hold my hand out with food on it. I try to get them to eat from my hand so they'll learn that hands are not bad things. And gradually they come down, and then they get curious about me. Finally, there's one day when, usually they're on the kitchen counter when I open the door in the morning, and we'll go nose to nose, and there's that day when they touch my nose with theirs. And then before too many days, they'll let me pet them. Maybe it's just once, but you can, and then twice. It's just a gradual, it's a logical process. It's slow, and you need to be persistent, and you need to be patient. You were here once before when I had a cat named Tony. The woman who has now adopted him came over and met him, and I showed you a picture of him. She's holding him in her arms, and he's looking up at her, and she's looking down at him, and they're just adoring each other. That's the kind of thing you want to see. We have programs called Trap, Neuter, and Release, where several times a year people will go out and set traps for these wild cats and bring them in, and there's a day-long clinic where they are neutered or spayed, and then we take them back to their colony. These are cats who can't live inside. They don't want anything to do with people. They're wild. They'll attack if we try to pet them or anything. But there's no reason why they should go on multiplying, and there's no reason why a lot of people like to kill them. The number of stray cats that are brought in has diminished remarkably in the 10 years I've been there. And it's because they're just not reproducing as much.
So I adopted her like 3 years ago. I saw her and I thought that's the one I want to take home. So at the beginning, she was really scared, and when I moved to my new apartment, she only stayed in like under the bed or like at her spot. She don't show out really easy, and she wants to be closer to you, but she still hold her like scaredness to people in general. So maybe you can pet her but not hug her, in this case for my cat. So when I first adopt her, I was like, it's my first time to have a pet as well. I was learning how to take care of her. After a year, she's there for me every time I need her. So I thought I need to be there every time she needs me as well.
Animal rescuing isn't a grand humanitarian cause, taking on human suffering or world peace. But it makes a difference, and it is around us.
So it feels kind of like a family who likes to take care of the cats.
We all work with them all in different ways, all with different, ideas. It's a team.
I mean, we can't do everything, but we do what we can.
既然养了它的话，我们就直接就肯定是养它一辈子。
And once you give them a home, please give them a forever home.